Page 347 from the Gita. It is well known that in the Gita, Lord Krishna is both the speaker and the listener. Any ordinary person understands this. The person who understands the meaning of the Gita derives the same benefit as the one who repeats it. The Gita brings about the union between the reader and what he reads. Now there is nothing left for me to explain. You should know that the Gita is the very incarnation of the Lord's speech. Any other science bears fruit when its meaning is understood, and then it passes away. But this is not so with the Gita, for it is truly God. See how in the form of Arjuna the Lord has bestowed his grace on the world and made the supreme joy available to all. All? For the sake of the chakora bird, the moon with all its phases cools the heated worlds. Similarly, Krishna, being the cow in the form of the Gita and taking Arjuna as a calf, has poured forth milk to satisfy the whole world. For the sake of Gautama, Lord Shiva brought down the mountains of the waters of the Ganges for the benefit of all who suffer from the distress of Kali Yuga. If you bathe in the Gita with your heart, or immerse yourself in it by repeating it with your tongue, then you will experience this. If iron is touched by the philosopher's stone, at only one point all of it is transformed into gold. Similarly, if a single verse is in the glass of the reading of the Gita were brought to the lips that drink, the whole body would be nourished with the essence of God. Even if a person were to turn away from it and lie on his side and a verse fell on his ear, the result would be just the same. Just as a generous giver refuses no one, the Gita gives nothing less than final liberation to one who hears, reads, or understands it. Therefore, wise men should study only the Gita. Of course, of what value are all other scriptures? Sri Vyasa has made the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna on the open battlefield so simple that a person could hold it in the palm of his hand. When a mother sits down to feed her child, she lovingly prepares small mouthfuls which it will then be able to eat. An ingenious person makes a fan in order to capture the limitless wind for his use. In the same way, Sri Vyasa has expressed the Anushtupa meter, which cannot be conveyed by words, so that women and those of low caste can understand it. If raindrops falling from the auspicious Swati constellation didn't become pearls, how would women adorn their bodies? If sound weren't expressed through musical instruments, how could it be heard? Without flowers, how could there be fragrance? If there were no delicious foods, how could the tongue enjoy the experience of taste? Without a mirror, how could the eyes see themselves? If the omniscient and blessed Guru hadn't entered life in a visible form, could the disciple approach him and worship? In the same way, who could have attained the oneness with God if that limitless one hadn't entered into those 700 verses? Clouds hold the water drawn from the ocean, but it is the clouds which people look. Can one grasp that which is boundless? If these beautiful verses hadn't been written, how could that which is beyond the power of speech become accessible to the ear or the tongue? Therefore, the gratitude which the world owes to Sri Vyasa is very great, because he has recorded in this composition the sayings of Lord Krishna. Now, carefully studying Vyasa's words, I have brought that same book to the Marathi people so they can hear it. Where even the wisdom of Vyasa and others wavered, I, humble man, have dared to speak of these things in simple words. Nevertheless, the Gita is as simple as Shankar in accepting garlands of Vyasa's words and not rejecting my poor offering of Durba grass. Herds of elephants go down to the shores of the milky ocean to drink, but they are driven back by mosquitoes. A fledgling can hardly fly up to the sky, yet it rises to the same space as the eagle which soars through the heavens. Who can walk with the gait of the royal swan, the finest in the world? Should others, therefore, not even try to walk?